Hey, me, Callie Carroll. Good morning, sunshine. Morning, sunshine. Good morning, sunshine. Good morning, sunshines. Daily dose of perspective. Good morning, sweet baby sunshines. Good morning, sunshines. Let's get started.
Good morning, sunshines, or is it afternoon, or is it evening, or do we even know? It's just now. It's the timing is just now. Let's talk about that for a second for today's daily dose of perspective, and a conversation, casual conversation I was having with my 3-year-old on the way home from the gym today, and he was like, he always wants to go to the game card house, which means main event where you can like use your little card to slide all these things. I'm like, bud, we're not going to go today. Blah 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 blah. Not the point of the story. So I'm trying to distract him. I'm like, hey, but are you excited to go on our trip to Florida in October? And he's like, my birthday's October. And I was like, yes, it is. And like, I don't know, 30 seconds passes. Like, okay, can we go on the plane now? And I was like, well, no, bud, we're gonna like wait for a month and then we're gonna go. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, man, this kid needs to learn time. Like he needs to understand what time it is. And then I'm like, I should do like a calendar. And then I was like picturing the kids crossing off days and showing them the calendar and how things work. And then I like halted myself and I was like, oh, hold on, self. Let's have a conversation with ourselves real quick about this and the reality of what you're saying versus what is true. Do I need to work on time with my son, my 3-year-old, or is he vastly smarter of us, whoa, than the majority of us who are so focused on time and tomorrows and yesterdays and future and past and taking ourselves, removing ourselves in so many different ways from this moment that we're thinking about all of the other moments that we are consumed by time. And then you take a look at a 3-year-old, right? Have you guys been around a child lately? I don't know, a toddler, a preschooler, who they still don't really have the concept of anything but now. At first, right? There's only now. You try to explain to like we're gonna do something later, and they're like, okay, all right, that means now. Or you say like, oh no, we did that yesterday, and they're like, let's do it right now. Like they're so consumed by the now in such a beautiful way. If we could sit back as adults and watch the way they live in the present and for the now, wouldn't that be like pretty freaking cool? And then I was thinking about, in addition to this like idea of like, I'm not going to get the calendar and we're not going to be crossing off days. Cause then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that day's done. Like, yes, I conquered it. Like that's in the past. But like that removes us from the present, right? When we're doing that. So the next thing that I was thinking about was his concept of yesterday. So anything that's ever happened ever in the past is called yesterday. So he'll be like, do you remember when I was sick yesterday? I'm like, when you had cancer 2 years ago? Like I don't say that, obviously, right? But it's like, remember I was sick yesterday? I'm like, no, but like we're healthy. We were healthy yesterday. He's like, no, I was sick. We went to the hospital. We had to do all those different things. My bones hurt. He said this the other day. My bones hurt. And I was like, wow. Anything that is in his past is in his yesterday, is in like one lump bucket of that's gone. It's no longer now. And that quality right there is also super beneficial if we could try to embrace letting go of the yesterdays as just a lump sum of that was yesterday. And that doesn't mean that we don't learn from our past. Obviously, it would be silly not to learn from our past. But when you grab onto your yesterdays, your yesteryears so tightly, right? When you're strangling those and you keep bringing yourself back to them, you don't get to be here now. Another beautiful lesson about time from a preschooler. And all in all, I wanted to just share in here, right? Just talking about, because I was trying to give a future example, but we haven't gotten that far into what Whitney John's development is there and like what that means to him. So we're just not gonna. But just the encouragement of, if you get to be around kids, watch how they be. I said what I meant to say. Watch how they be. Watch how they just like exist in the moment. And like I love, we're a no screen family now, aside from like TV occasionally, whatever, but we don't have any individual devices. For me, I'm on my husband. Okay, my children are no screens while they're developing. I'm still on mine. Try to be on mine when they're not around because otherwise they see me. Anyways, so as a no screen family, watching my kids seek out different experiences in the now is so cool. Where it's just like, what are we going to do today? What's next? They're excited to go to school. They're excited to come back home. They're excited to ride the bus. They're excited for whatever breakfast is going to be. They're excited for jumping on the trampoline, for going to get to play with friends, and just letting them kind of live that flow in their lives is such a great reminder for something that I think some of us probably could do better. I know I definitely needed that in the past before, of stepping into our now and choosing what we're gonna do next in the now. Does that make sense? Like choosing what your next action is going to be in the now, to like really thinking about like, what do I want my now and my present to look like? What do I want to choose in this moment? Just these kids are smart. These toddlers. I started writing a book, Living Life Like a Toddler, like a long time ago, and then I stopped. That was yesterday's. And in the now I've been doing it. But I should probably get back on it because they're freaking geniuses. Okay, daily dose of perspective. Kelly Hero. Bye. Pressing in is hard.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.